my ex-best friend got into a fight with someone at the bar and got us kicked out, and I paid $600 just for us to have a good time, and she got us kicked out we were only there for like an hour and a half. I just wanted to have a good time.
Y'all got some real stank energy towards each other. Okay. Let me hear from you, Ms. Hanks. What's going on here? Why are you in court today?
I'm in court today because my best friend, or my ex-best friend, blames me for an altercation at the club that was not my fault. Mm-hmm. And I believe that she should be able to take my side because she said that she was my friend.
At that time?
At that time.
So when did y'all fall out? Let's go to the nitty-gritty. When did you two fall out? You answer, Ms. Delgado, first, and then I'll hear from you, Ms. Hanks.
So we were friends.
Okay. Were y'all work friends, or were y'all friends?
No, we were friends. We met in college, and we were on the same dance team, and we hit it off and stuff like that. So
okay, great.
We were really friends. But she had moved to North Carolina, and then she moved back after like a few years, and I was so excited. And then a couple months later, I got this promotion, and I wanted to celebrate, so I invited her to go out to this club with me, and we were gonna have a good time. I invited 4 other friends, and so we went to this. We got there, we hung out, we got to the VIP, we had a couple drinks, and then...
And how did y'all get into VIP, Ms. Delgado?
I paid for it. I paid $600.
You bought a table, like a situation?
Yes, so I paid $600 for the 3 bottles. We got the table, and then we got there, and we had a couple drinks for a little bit. After about like 30 minutes, I wanted to go dance. Like, my favorite song was on. I was like, okay, let's go. And she wanted to stay at the table. Her feet were hurting, so I was like, okay. So me and 2 other friends went to the dance floor, and then 2 other friends went to the bathroom, and we were dancing, we were having a good time. And then after a little bit, I noticed that at our table there was like a bunch of commotion happening. So I was like, what's happening? I went back to the table, and she was being escorted out, and I was like, what happened? What? And the security guard asked me, and he's like, are you with her?
Yes.
And I said, well, yeah. And he escorts me out too. And so we get outside, and I'm like, what happened? Like, so she gets in this argument with this guy, and she gets us kicked out. And I just paid $600 for this VIP for us to have a good time. And she gets us kicked out, and we were only there for an hour and a half.
So what came with the VIP, Ms. Delgado? Normally it's like a section of the tables and some seating so she could sit and rest her feet, which I understand. I've been there before. And then you had some bottles, or what was that? Yeah,
we ordered 3 bottles. We got our whole table to ourselves. We got to have a couple friends, which there was 6 of us total. And we got to dance the whole night.
So by the time, and you got kicked out, you said after an hour?
Yeah, it was about like an hour and a half.
Okay. And if you had to, I'm going to use this gavel to be a right now. If you had to tell me how much was consumed in the hour, was it this much? About this much?
About that much.
So about half of all 3, would you say? Okay, so about half of that was consumed, but half remained after you guys were kicked out. Okay, now, Ms. Hanks, let's get your take on this. What led to the commotion for you to even get kicked out in the first place?
So what happened is they went off, they went to go kick it, they, did whatever, and I wanted to sit at VIP because my little pinky toe she was on fire. I shouldn't have been wearing them shoes.
What kind of shoes were you wearing, Ms. Hanks?
Ooh, them stiletto, the stiletto thigh highs.
Oh,
I was cute, but you can't really.
You were giving it to the people. Okay.
I was giving it to the people. I was serving it.
Okay, you were
but
serving.
I had to serve it from my seat.
Okay, I understand.
And I was sitting there just sipping on something. Okay. And this guy comes up, this Dusty comes through, and he sits himself down in our section.
You heard that, Mr. Bailiff? A Dusty?
Never heard of a Dusty.
Well, you heard of one today, honey.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
The Dusty came.
So he comes through. He sits down with his little well drink. And I tell him politely at first, like, could you please remove yourself from this section?
Because he wasn't a part of y'all's VIP section.
He didn't have a wristband on. Okay. And like I said, Dusty. He was a Dusty, and he looked like a Dusty. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Right. And
I've seen a couple in my day.
And when I asked him to remove himself, he put his hand up in my face.
Oh, no.
So
did he touch you, or he just...
He tried to touch me after the bouncer came.
Okay, so then the bouncer comes, and then what happens?
The security comes, and security blames me. Security blames me for what's happening.
Why would they do that? Ms. Hanks?
I have no clue.
I haven't been to any VIP sections at places like this. However, I have been into other VIP sections from like fashion shows and things like that. It is not easy to get into those places. Like, you have to have certain passes. You can't just come in. You can't be a Dusty and get in there, like you have to have certain clearance to go there. So my first thought is, how did he even get there? Did he come in with someone else? And secondly, I don't know why they would have kicked her out. I feel like I would have just went and got the bouncer myself, or went to one of the employees and just asked them to remove him if he refused to leave, instead of escalating the situation. One of the easier ways to do that would be just like, hey, you could wait right here. I will be right back. I need to run to the restroom. And then handle it while you're over there. Something more has to be at play for her to have gotten kicked out. For that much money, the place would want to be honoring the people there, because that's huge tickets, huge pricing. Let's get back.
Continue. The bouncer comes, and then what happens?
So I removed this man's hand from my face.
Okay. Did you do it like all of that?
We did it was probably a little bit more forceful than maybe what I should have been.
Okay.
So I removed a man's hand from my face.
Okay.
And then he's proceeding to still get up in my face, still proceeding to talk to me crazy.
What's the bouncer doing at this point?
The bouncer's just kind of standing there. Okay. He's not removing the man. He's not really doing anything.
He's allowing this man to be forceful.
He's allowing this man to continue to be disrespectful to me.
Give me the size proportions of this man, Ms. Hanks. How tall?
I mean, I think he was a big dude. He was maybe like 6'2".
Okay.
Like, little linebacker build.
Okay, so I was going to say football build. So did you feel or intimidated?
I felt that he was.
Okay. And at what point were you removed, and also was the man removed also from VIP? Were all of y'all kicked out?
We were all kicked out. Me and our friends were kicked out.
And the Dusty?
And the Dusty. Okay. I don't know what happened to the Dusty after we left.
The so-called Dusty. Okay. The alleged Dusty. Okay.
I don't know what happened to the Dusty after we left.
Okay. But y'all were all escorted away, including you, Ms. Delgado, which is what your claim is.
Yes.
Do any one of y'all have any evidence for the court to see in terms of corroborating these allegations, what the cost of the event? Yes. Do you?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Please present that to my bailiff.
I'll just take all of your evidence.
Yeah, give us everything, Mr. Delgado.
Awesome. Thank you. Here you go. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so this is to you, High Destiny. Your VIP table is confirmed for an 11 p.m. reservation, as you said. Oh, this is the amount. Okay, so I'm seeing Destiny Delgado. I'm seeing, here are the three. 125, 150, 150, subtotaling 546.14. So you want a full refund of the entire expense of the service?
Yes.
Okay, and what are these text messages you've sent to me here?
So the day after, I texted her and I just wanted to let her know, like, I want to be refunded. I want the full $600 amount because I wanted to have this good time with you, and you wasted it by getting us kicked out.
When y'all got kicked out of the, were y'all friends still? Would you say? And then I'm gonna let you answer.
Well, kind of. I mean,
but you were upset.
Yes, I was upset. Okay. I told her, I was like, I asked her what happened and all this other stuff, and I tried to accommodate with her even before that. Like,
now, were you genuinely open to her side?
Yeah.
Were you willing to see her as a Miss Hanks? Relax. Were you willing to see her as a victim?
I did. I understood what happened and everything like that, but I also thought that she should have just taken it to security. She shouldn't have.
I understand that perspective, but now, Miss Hanks, when y'all were kicked out, did you see this woman as your friend?
I felt like she wasn't acting like she was my friend.
Okay. So let me go through these text messages. This is Destiny talking to you, Kirsten. I understand things were heated, but we need to talk. That's you opening up conversation. I see. Destiny, you yelled in my face and didn't believe me about the fight. So you felt not heard. Fair?
Yeah.
Okay. You, Ms. Delgado, I do believe you. She says she does believe you. You were wrong. You ruined my whole night. I lost out of $600 because of you, and this was a celebration of your new job promotion?
Yes.
Okay. You, in defense, a grown man was in my face. Ms. Delgado, you wanting to play security. That's his response when you agitate someone. So this is you. I think it's fair to say you were placing blame on Ms. Hanks here. You wanted to play security, and that's his response. Okay, I don't owe you anything. Stop contacting me about this. And have you two spoken since this text message exchange?
As a woman, I think that personal safety is more important than proving a point. The defendant has already said that she's felt unsafe, which means that this was not a point that you should be trying to escalate a situation or agitate the dusty that could have resulted in a worse outcome. It just pays to be smarter. I agree with the plaintiff. She mishandled this interaction. You don't get a trophy for trying to look tougher in a situation that could have been dangerous. If you look how authority handles situations like this, the first step is always de-escalation. That is how you should be viewing some type of confrontation, is how can I de-escalate this the quickest and get myself to a place of safety. The defendant let her ego get in the way of her making a more common sense decision. We may not want it that way. We may not agree with it. We may desire society to be different, but it is the reality of the world that we live in. As far as the cost of the VIP section, though, they were there for an hour and a half and already consumed half of the drinks. So I don't think she's responsible for the whole amount because they still had time. They still got to party, but maybe half of the whole bill. So $300 versus the $600. I think that seems fair. What about you? Let me know in the comments below and let's find out.
Nope.
No. So that's what brings you into the court today. Okay, I've heard enough, ladies. I'm a big proponent of sisterhood, and I'm a big proponent of friendship. In fact, for some of us, friends become family. And if indeed you two have known each other and been close friends and girlfriends to each other since undergraduate days, it's a shame to see it come down like this, to be honest with you. Yet, here we find ourselves. I appreciate your candor, Ms. Hanks, in acknowledging that you went a little off the rails. I also appreciate that you likely did feel threatened. At the same time, when you're upset, and sometimes you have to call a thing a thing. So, Ms. Delgado, you indicated that y'all had drank about half of each of the three bottles. So, you're asking for a full $600, the full expenses. This court will award you half of that. This court is going, Ms. Hanks, this court is going to rule in favor of the plaintiff for half of the amount asked. $300 to compensate you for your losses. I understand you are upset, Ms. Hanks, but you have got to do a better job of controlling your emotions when you are in mixed company. If you were by yourself and wanted to have a consequence that only affected you, so be it. When your consequences have an impact on others around you who have invested money, you have to be responsible. The court fines for the plaintiff in the amount of $300. That's the verdict.
Well said. Is there anything that will pay us more dividends than emotional intelligence, knowing when and where to do a thing and with who? I was raised in a house where they thought that getting more emotional and getting more escalated got them more things. When I got out and I worked in customer service for years, that's when I realized that when you want to get something from somebody else, you attract more flies with honey than with vinegar. Kindness pays. People are willing to help and do more for someone who can control their emotions than for someone who cannot. Even if you are right and you can't control your emotions, it makes you look wrong. I can't tell you how many opportunities I have gotten for people who have specifically said how I was calm in conflict. So today, that's our lesson here is, where are we not controlling our emotions? How can we do it better? What is it costing us from not controlling our emotions? And what opportunities would we have if we put them in check? With a little PS right here, let's not forget, where are my emotions placing me in an unsafe position? Let me know in the comments below. I definitely want to hear your side.